Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown along with Ryan Graham,
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber,
Hello.
and this is State of Atlanta.
All right.
I had it. Mine was still in the cooler. I completely botched that one.
Hey, at least you didn't crack it right before.
So I'm the late one. Wait, you don't have your beer ready?
I was already drinking one, but
Gotcha.
the crack open beer was still in the cooler right here. The cooler was locked up as well. So
The cooler
anyhow,
was locked up. I got it.
welcome back, guys. Hope you had a good week.
Woo. Been
Pretty good
excited.
week, yours?
Yeah, good times. Didn't see you at all, Tim.
No,
the
I was
open
busy drinking barrel-aged stouts, porters, some IPAs,
At 10 a.m.?
some Nar water, slushies.
At 10?
Yeah, well,
Not at 10. Getting breakfast first. I got to power up, you know? You can't walk into a rodeo not ready.
well, we had a good time at the open practice. I mean, I thought it was a good time. You got saddled with the kid during the whole thing, Ryan, so you didn't get to spend a lot of time watching the actual practice itself, did
Well,
you?
I did. I was working on a promise that I would have another child to keep her company, and somebody else fell through on that.
No, Amit brought his daughter. Either I can't hear you, or you're not talking.
Code and we're not supposed to hear it.
Yeah, either way, my daughter did not want to go, so I was Sans kid. Sorry about that, Ryan.
You were devastated by it.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Yeah,
Verizon.
I don't remember what I was saying. It's fine.
Yeah, it's all good. But so anyways, we have sports back this week. Like, we actually have Georgia State sports happening this week with the soccer complex opening. Both men and women have exhibition games this week, but still, we actually have some sports coming on. I think it's Thursday and Saturday this week. I think the women actually play another game on Sunday, but that's away. But now we're getting into it, and the next week volleyball will start. You know, just a couple more weeks we got football, and
Did you get a scoop on where the seating's going to be at the soccer complex?
Yeah, that one spot you could possibly do it.
That's it.
That northwest corner.
I saw some of the posts on PantherTalk with roof seating, and I said, "Great, you guys fund that." And they will.
Yeah, as much as I think it'd be cool to actually have some like rooftop seating on the whatever that complex is, what that building is, with the meetings room, the office room, the lockers, and everything. That'd be great. Like, have you guys ever been to Wrigley Field in Chicago, as opposed to Wrigley Field in, like, I don't know, Glendale, California? Yeah, no. So before they put in their upper stands, they had a lot of bars over in Wrigleyville. They would just put seats and bleachers and everything on top of their bar, and you could walk in there, get a drink, and walk to the roof and do something. That'd be very cool if they could do that. But I think, like everything in Georgia State, you got to find somebody to fund it. So, and please don't say GoFundMe. Please don't say get a GoFundMe going for it.
Someone not on this podcast should start one of those fundraising campaigns.
Well, I think we have to get some fan support of the soccer teams. Like, I think that having soccer downtown, especially with, I mean, I know that United hasn't been playing so well since they won the championship, but I think you still have shown that there's interest in soccer here. Find a way to get some fans to want to go down there and do something. Do it like they did the open practice, have like bring your own booze and food. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, when they have those international matches at Mercedes-Benz, I mean, that gets packed out for like different countries that are coming, Mexico, whatever. Like, I think there was a match earlier this year in the Benz, and it was pretty packed out from what I've been told by some friends that went.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely been shown that Atlanta has an interest in soccer. So if Georgia State could do something to just advertise to the casual fan that, hey, we've got soccer playing in downtown Atlanta next to a bunch of bars you could go out to afterwards, or, have some fun there at the stadium, I think it'd be a smart decision, at least an attempt to try it. So,
is the Greek place still there, or did that go away?
The what space?
Isn't there a Greek place that was like right behind the complex? Ryan, help me out.
News to me if there is.
Nick's,
yeah.
Yeah, they've threatened to close that a couple of times, but it's not closed. It's supposed to be really good though.
What
It
happened?
is.
You threatened to close, and customers like, we're not going to stop coming, so you
Yeah, I
can't
mean,
close.
basically. Well, apparently, Nick is not the nicest fella. That's why I've been kind of scared to go there because I always want to like minus something on the menu, and I've had him described to me as like the soup Nazi, but for like euros.
I've heard really good things about it.
I've heard it's delicious.
Yeah. Such a hole in the wall kind of location too.
I'm pretty sure that all of that is soup Nazi. It's like I think I've covered all the bases there.
Well, yeah, that's obviously with it sounds like, so sure.
Yeah.
But I hopefully, I don't know if I'll be able to make it to these exhibition games, but maybe we can make it to, I want to go to a soccer game this season, check some of them out.
Yeah.
I think it could be fun. The women, I think it's the women or is it the men? I have put it down here. One of them has Clemson coming here. I mean, I don't know if Clemson is known as a soccer team, but it's kind of cool to have a bigger program like that coming in.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me if it's men's or women. I actually enjoy women's soccer more in general than men's. Right. So
yeah, we've talked about that before. I just think they're better. I think they're better at the sport.
Yeah, yeah, it's
yeah. They don't flop as much either.
Right? That's true.
They don't flop as much. They act like they want to be there and they deserve to be there. And
well, they tough it out. Yeah.
Yeah, it is the men's team on Saturday, August 21st. They will be in ESPN Plus. Actually, I think the exhibition game, one of these exhibition games, is going to be on ESPN Plus. But yeah, so you can go watch. I'll be interested to see how they set up the video for them. Maybe they'll be on the roof of the building there, recording the game.
Huh. Maybe.
Not really many other options. I mean, there's not a lot of room for even like the refs to run around the sides or anything. Or to have any kind of ball boys or anything. There's very limited space. I mean, I like having soccer down.
Right?
I like having soccer down there, and it's an appropriate use of the field, but it just really sucks we couldn't have gotten, bleachers, seating on both sides to do something, because it definitely, I don't know. The general consensus is from other fans that I've seen from other programs and they think it's awesome. So I agree with them. I think it's awesome, but I'm glad to hear that we're not getting ripped apart because we play in a baseball stadium. Like, people complain about that crap for Center Park.
Anything that's no longer in Panthersville is awesome.
Yes. So come on, baseball. Come on, softball. Get out of there.
Baseball's running behind.
Right. Yeah.
If there was a schedule, right?
Well, I did talk to somebody in athletics on Saturday at the open practice, and funding is still not secured for baseball, but I think it's still kind of like on the fast track to get things happening. Maybe, I don't know if having a new president in office, Georgia State president, Dr. Blake, who started on Monday, I don't know if that has anything to do with fast forwarding something, but as is said all the time on Panther Talk, Dr. Blake, or the president of Georgia State athletics, is only like 2 to 3% of their job. So
does he need us to do a GoFundMe?
Oh God, these GoFundMes.
No, we should be set for the baseball stadium, right? We got money flowing in there.
It sounds like there's supposed to be private funding for that. I don't know, locking it all in.
Yeah. I would imagine even the state would like, a lot of people would like to see that facility built outside of even Georgia State interests.
Right. It's just, it's very unfortunate that Hank Aaron passed away before all this stuff was announced, because it would have been really easy for Hank to walk up to Home Depot and Coke and Delta and all these places and say, "Hey, can you throw a few million my way? I'll say you guys are cool."
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate that he passed away. Period.
I knew what you meant, David. Don't worry.
It's also unfortunate in the building of Georgia State's baseball arena, baseball field, softball fields. So, anyhow, so talking about back to football, the open practice. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I didn't get to watch a lot of it. It was no pads. It was turned into a big social thing, talking to a lot of people that I hadn't seen since last season and everything. But it was a good time. It was fun seeing the guys there on the field. Coach Elliott was pumped up in typical Coach Elliott fashion, getting up there with the offensive line and the defensive line. I'm around all over the place, but as far as paying attention to what was going on, Quad looked good. McKelly, looked good through an interception, but the receiving core looked really good.
So that's not good, David.
Well,
Looks excellent.
as much as I like,
That's
as much as I like McKelly, hopefully we're not seeing him on the field and him throwing
You're
interceptions.
You're
So
supposed
you're
to say, well,
telling
our
me-
defensive backs look good. They caught an interception.
Yeah, that's what I've always wondered about when, especially like in spring games and things. Is like, all right, does our offense look really
Yeah.
good, or does our defense look really bad? Which one is it?
I've just figured out it doesn't mean anything. None of it means anything until you're on the field against opponents and winning.
Right, of course,
No.
of course.
So, wait, you're trying to tell me that our quarterbacks passed the ball in this practice and our running backs ran the ball?
Yeah, it was more like a two-hand touch type thing. So
Yeah.
Hey, wait,
Yeah.
did you kick for your tickets? Wasn't that supposed to go on? Or?
no, I had to leave going into the Falcons open practice and had to get out. And I was I did take my daughter to that.
That could
Nice.
have been the breaking news right there if you kicked it.
Yeah.
Oh, if I would have kicked a field goal for free tickets, everybody that I know would have known about that by now.
True.
So
Good point. You couldn't keep that under wraps.
yeah, so there's actually been a lot of articles that have come out in the past week we can talk about. And I don't really want to be somebody that just we do this, but we kind of just like talk about articles that anybody could read on their own accord. But there's some cool stuff out there. The Auburn Wire, which I guess is like just a part of USA Today, or they're kind of like their USA Today's Auburn section, whatever. They did it like grading the opponents. I guess they're going through all of the opponents they're going to see this season. I guess they are. They just focused on just Georgia State. All the other opponents that Auburn has, they didn't care about, but they decided to write one article about just Georgia State. Anyhow, so it starts off pretty cool. They say that Auburn wraps up their non-conference play with an intriguing Power 5 school.
Nice.
I think we're solid so far. You can just stop.
So-
Are we in? Did they break the
So
news? Breaking news.
we are used to getting a lot of bad information about our program, confusion with other programs. But yeah, that's the question. Do they know something we don't? Is the Big 12
ACC.
is the
Boom.
Big 12 pulling in?
SEC. It's really close. Really close.
So that's about where their compliments ended with Georgia State. It was they rated pretty much every position class, and the highest ranking we got was a C+.
Good.
Take
That's
it.
Yeah,
good news.
right. I mean, at least from a journalist perspective, if you can call someone like that a journalist, they quarterback, offensive line, C pluses.
Did he not read that other article that we have one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the South?
Yeah, absolutely. The returning offense is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then Sam Pinckney, which is probably going to go to the NFL. And
Yeah.
they rated our wide receiver class just a C.
Our wide receivers are stacked. That's stupid. That's dumb.
Our defensive line, they give a C-, even though we were one of the best defensive teams blocking the run last year. Defensive backs, they gave a D+. Maybe if they were looking at the first half of last year and not the second half of last year. So I mean, it was, I don't know. Reading the article, when I started reading, I'm like, all right, cool. This will be fun to read. And I started going through it. I'm like, this is garbage. Unless they're just basing everything off of Auburn playing the top teams in the SEC and how Georgia State would compare to that. Yeah. Maybe we're not going to be, an A or a B compared to
SEC is a
Alabama
B
or whatever. But
What
but
we
I,
know,
but you know what? But I want to know what Auburn actually thinks about how they would grade themselves, because Auburn is not that good this year either, or at least they don't appear to be.
What we know about the differences between the P5 schools, the better schools, bigger schools that Auburn's going to play, is it actually usually comes out to depth. So like our starters are all pretty good, and we might have like a good backup here and there, but like typically over the course of 4 quarters, we're going to get tired because we don't have backups to fill in the spots where like Alabama has 10 good people at every position.
Well, whenever our defense starts getting tired, we'll just have the offense take their time scoring touchdowns so that we can wear out.
We'll just choose. Yeah. We'll just decide.
Because we'll control the play of the game, right, Tim?
Yeah. Exactly. Maybe the C grades are the highest grades that any non P5 school can get. Because the SEC has to obviously be C+ above, right?
You would think so. You would think even I was
Even
going to say the worst teams. Yeah.
Hey, I said though, maybe it's good. Maybe that's what Auburn thinks of us, and that's fine with me.
Yeah, Auburn didn't even get ranked. The USA Today's preseason coaches poll came out. They received votes, but they weren't even ranked. But it is interesting about the coaches poll is we are playing 3 of the top 25 teams away this year, and UNC at number 9, Lafayette and Coastal, kind of closing out the bottom of the rankings. But then Auburn received votes, Army received votes, and Appy State received votes. So we knew our conference schedule or our season schedule was tough, but there's some numbers to put right to it that it is definitely tough. And all of those, but Army are on the road.
I read
Army,
something else in
Army
the
and
last
App
couple
State.
days that was just like yet another article that was, super high on every single position group and our team and how good we're going to be like everywhere on the field, except for our strength of schedule is like just so tough. Like we're going to lose some games because it's just a tough schedule.
It's with the exception of Charlotte, it's a very tough out of conference schedule, and
Yep.
it doesn't get any easier moving into conference since you immediately come from Auburn to App State at home. I think it's in Monroe, which is nice, but who knows what's going to happen with them. They're definitely a wild card this year, but you got to think we win that game.
Yep.
Then we have that murderous row in November. Yeah. Which contrasting that with the Beach Chickens, who we're just waiting to see, flop like we expect them to. They, on the other hand, have a cake schedule.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
It's like the Sun Belt setting up for a second year in a row to win the whole thing somehow.
Well, I mean, they're out of conference is all on them, and I think at the time that was scheduled, Buffalo is probably going to be a tougher team for them to play. But I don't pay a lot of attention to the Bulls, but I think it sounds like they've lost with their coach, several players. They're not the same team they were last year, so they could Coastal could easily start the season 4-0, and of course just maintain that whole media attention they've had going since last year. But screw them.
I think for Auburn, I was reading an article today from 247. They're ranked 10th of 14. So, the bottom half of the SEC. Not as bad as our friends in Tennessee from 2 years ago. Wow. I forgot last year happened.
Wait, they're ranked 10th out of the 14 members of the SEC?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like what, Vandy and Kentucky behind them?
Vandy, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Mississippi State.
Oh, cool. Hopefully South Carolina still sucks. We play them next year.
I don't really know if you have to hope a whole lot there. We'll see.
On the coaches poll, I did think it was interesting. They have Lafayette at 23 and Coastal at 24. And so they're side by side, and it's giving Lafayette the edge. I'm wondering if there's any kind of bias towards, well, Coastal, if you would actually play the championship game, we maybe would have put you ahead, or maybe if you won your bowl game, we would have put you ahead. But now we're actually putting Lafayette as the best team in the Sun Belt right now. But
I feel like the Sun Belt has tweeted that thing out 18,000 times. I don't know. Every time I open Twitter, that comes up somehow.
What comes up? The
that 23-24 ranking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like on every tweet. I don't know.
It's if you follow any of this stuff online, there's so much. I still don't understand why Coastal is getting so much praise. Like I was reading something today, and they're talking about the strong, at first I wasn't happy, but about like some of the ads to the conference, but I was really excited about App State and Coastal. Like, there's no way anyone was excited about Coastal outside of Conway, South Carolina, when Coastal had. And if you would have said going into last season that you were excited about Coastal being part of the conference, you would have said they're probably the worst team worst team in the East outside, because Monroe is probably the worst team in conference, or Texas State. But which goes back to the point I said before about how important this season is for us. Because if we have one good season, one super season like Coastal had last year, all it takes is that one season for everyone to think all of a sudden you're a powerhouse. You're the elite amongst your conference. John reminds us they just won the College World Series. That's great, but when it comes to, I guess, these conferences and notoriety, no one cares about that. I want Georgia State to win the College World Series, and I'll be the biggest Georgia State baseball fan when that happens. I guess I'm technically still a huge Georgia State baseball fan because that's our team, but when it comes to the conference realignment and the money and stuff like that, it's like football. One, you take several steps down, basketball, and then underneath your house is the rest of the sports, and not dogging the rest of the sports.
I think baseball is one of those other ones that they usually profit on. I think it's football, basketball, and baseball. So
only at the highest.
Yeah.
Only at the highest.
Well, if you're winning the World Series, then who's to say they're not the highest?
Well, they were, and then they came in I think they came in last in almost last this year in Sunbelt. So.
Did you see where their coach was taking credit for the playoff expansion?
Oh yeah.
There was an article where he got interviewed basically, and he was saying that, oh well, people wanted to see us in Cincinnati in that thing, so that's why that's probably a big reason they considered it. Like nobody thought about you, dude.
Actually, it's Chad. That's Chadwell, right? Coach Chadwell.
Sure, man. Whatever. I know you're a big rival. You want them to be a rivalry, but I don't commit to memory.
No, where I wanted to see Coastal Carolina play. I wanted them to see them play in Conway in the championship game, but they backed out of it because they're a bunch of scaredy beach chickens and didn't want to play their game.
As I believe the article that he was quoted in that was also one saying that they were underrated ranked at 24.
Oh, come on, please. They're so full of themselves.
No, it wasn't them. This was a third party ranking. They went through all top 25 teams and said whether or not they were overrated or underrated.
Just an example of recent memory taking so much more credit than what's really going on. He had one great year. You're returning a lot of most of your players, everything, but still, come on. I think everyone agrees that last year was a weird year. You can't take credit for anything.
Yeah.
It was a crap, yeah. So I'm sorry. This is not supposed to be the hate on Coastal podcast.
I mean, it often is. I know. Again,
but why not? But why not?
They did shit in your toilet, so
it's not mine.
Only right.
At least they kept it there.
Oof. That would have been. Ryan walks in, the toilet's just destroyed.
No upper deckers.
No upper decker. No.
Yeah.
There's another good article. I don't know, Dave, if you were going to bring it up. But our friends at Underdog Dynasty actually wrote something positive for once, which I typically don't read anything they put out because it's usually heavily slanted some directional school way. But it was actually a good article.
No, yeah, I actually have a lot of notes on that article. I thought it was great. There was a lot of Georgia State talk in there, which is why I thought it was great. There's a lot of positive Georgia State talk in there, which I thought was great about it, which I remember that very first year of doing this podcast, I ripped on Underdog Dynasty quite a bit because I felt like I had no clue what they were doing when it came to talking about Georgia State, which I guess a lot of people don't know what they're doing when it comes to Georgia State. I don't know why I keep on looking down. I'm fidgeting with stuff in my hands. But yeah, no, I thought it was great. What did you like about it, Tim?
I mean, 3 of the 4, I guess, writers talked about Georgia State being the surprise team this year in the Sun Belt. That's pretty solid. I mean, you would never have gotten that 1 year or 2 year or 3 year or 5 years ago when it was infiltrated, with writers from Southern. So.
Right. Yeah. 4 guys got asked a bunch of questions. The first question was the surprise team in the Sun Belt. 3 of the guys either said Georgia State or another team. Only one guy didn't say, and he was hopping on the Bowden bandwagon in Monroe, which is fine. I mean, I think it's fair to.
It's the sexy pick. I get it.
Yeah. One of the guys said that with the improvements the team has put together, this could be the best Sun Belt season ever. So. Whatever. I don't care. Okay,
I like it. I mean, I actually read it after I realized it was safe to go to their website and give them clicks.
Look at stuff. They they asked about the best breakout player, and one of the guys said that Quad could set several single season records this year in the Sun Belt, and I agree. Like I've said multiple times on here, I think we're going to see a huge year out of Quad. He's going to just take it to the next level or the level above that. So John says that we're the sexy pick. Damn straight we are. Absolutely with a sexy pick.
I know, I look good.
So they're the easy pick. Wait, are we that too? Are we
you can be both. You can be both.
Hey, that's my favorite combination. Sexy and easy.
You can be both.
We're down with that here at State of Atlanta.
Yeah. Let's see. That same guy said he predicts that Quad will be the offensive player of the year.
Can't disagree. It's 100% going to happen. Yeah.
Right, as he should be. I mean, he was kind of overshadowed by that guy in Coastal last year, but I think he was the second best quarterback rating or something last year. So once Coastal comes back to earth, obviously Quad will be there in first place. And when he's the MVP of the Sun Belt Championship game, of course, who else would it be?
It was always good to see too. They talked about like the teams that are going to be a disappointment. They said the words App State. They said the words Georgia Southern. They said Coastal Carolina. No one said Georgia State. They said Troy, but whatever. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, I actually put down about the Trash Down South, expecting a major step back from the previous past seasons. I'm like, their past two seasons haven't been that great anyways. So, yeah. Did you read this article, Ryan? Do you even know what we're talking about right now?
Nope.
Not interested.
All right, well, then I'll ask you the questions and see what you think. Who are the sleeper picks to win the East and the West?
You are the sleeper pick.
Georgia State is a sleeper pick for the East.
Survey says
there's no West. There's no West sleeper. There's no sleeper in the West.
And Georgia State will also beat the West. Therefore, they are the sleeper pick in the West as well.
Yeah, I don't. But I mean, we actually make sense as the sleeper in the East for somebody to say that. But I don't know who would be in the West because maybe Arkansas State. I'm supposed to say ULM. There's no way they picked ULM as a sleeper.
I'll go with South Alabama.
Yeah, that was
Arkansas State.
Arkansas State, right? Chasing waterfalls.
They were split. Two of the guys said Arkansas State, two of the guys said USA, but three of the guys did pick Georgia State in the East. So, yeah. I mean, things like saying could be a dangerous team, saying that Panthers are just a couple of seasons away from being in the AP poll. Yeah. Again, this is why I like this article, because it was very positive about us.
Yeah.
Which is why I got shit on Twitter, because Southern fans hated reading anything positive about Georgia State. So it's great.
Well, and nobody has anything positive to say about them right now because they suck. So
they're hot garbage.
Oh, there's plenty they'll say about themselves. Did you hear?
No, they say about themselves, but nobody's talking about them. Nobody but themselves.
Did you hear they had Six Flags? And
they went to Six Flags?
It wasn't the amusement park.
People still go there?
But I thought they required masks. I figured those people wouldn't wear masks. Should we not do that? I'm sorry.
They actually posted their picture. I saw a tweet this week, and it was that it was officially football season, and sure enough, it's that picture of their football team in that retention pond. And I'm like,
did they wear masks though?
That's where you ought to wear a mask.
A mask, latex scuba suit, everything else.
Nothing to touch your skin. Oof.
Don't they drink? Do they drink it? I
think they do.
I mean, it's their water pond, isn't it? Isn't that their drinking water for?
It's
Statesboro.
It's a drainage ditch, dude.
Exactly. Isn't that where they get their drinking water from?
It's not a retention pond. It's a drainage ditch.
There's a pipe on one side. There's a pipe on the other. It just runs through all of Statesboro into one big circle.
Gross. I did see today. Somebody in my political circles posted. They were talking about Shai Wertz getting arrested back, a couple of years ago for
snorting bird poop off of his car.
Having bird poop on his car, yeah. But they did call him in the tweet that I saw. They called him a Georgia State quarterback.
Come on.
Yeah.
Our quarterbacks get busted at Moondogs and Buckhead. Come on, you know.
Shai would have been switched to a wide receiver in our offensive scheme. So,
right. John, while we're dogging on Trash Down South, John does remind me that their quarterback, their projected starting quarterback is going to be suspended for the first two games. When I first saw he was missing the first two games, I thought, oh, injury, that sucks. Get better soon. But then it's suspended. So. Apparently, whatever he did was bad enough just for the first two games, but not that third game at Arkansas where they think they have a shot at the SEC.
They don't. I actually never heard of Arkansas.
I feel like Arkansas is one of those teams in the SEC that should be better than they are. Like they have like there's years where they're kind of good, but they should have that more often than not.
Yeah, I think they were kind of in the mid section for the 247 ranking. If I'm recalling correctly. So,
but yeah, the trash down south, they definitely think they have a shot at that game, so they're letting their quarterback come back off of a suspension for that one.
Did they say what he got suspended for?
I don't know. Maybe he was snorting bird poop off of a car hood. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't do that. I heard.
Not in states there's still a dry county. Well, I guess it's not a dry county, but there's a no bird pooping snorting county.
Exactly.
So, all right. Before we hop off talking about college football, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about realignment, Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
So there's a rumor going around the internet that the Sun Belt commissioner was spotted in Huntington, West Virginia, which is where the University of West Virginia is. I didn't know. I had to look it up. I just saw Huntington.
I wouldn't have known that.
But yeah, so a possibility that Sun Belt is trying to court Marshall to move to the Sun Belt.
Well, that would be a good addition. That'd be a good pickup for us and a good pickup for them. I think that actually does fit the mold of the Sun Belt, like, but on an upper tier, you know. But it's like they'd be getting an elite Sun Belt team,
right?
Yeah. What do you think about that, Tim?
I'd rather just stay where we are. I don't know.
Well, I don't really care what happens because we're leaving. So if they want to replace us with Marshall, fine. I'm good with that.
So they're just planning to replace us, is what you're saying. We're leaving,
I do think
someone has to replace us.
I do think that a conference should probably have 12 football playing members just to be safe if one leaves. Just like that. Just look at the American; they had 12 with UConn, and UConn left, so they're getting by with 11. But it'd be much harder to get by with 9. So I think it'd make more sense for the Sun Belt to add 2 teams. Personally, I would like to see UAB be a team that gets added to the Sun Belt, but that's for personal reasons or for Georgia State bias reasons. I do think that UAB is probably one of the top 1 or 2 picks from the American Conference to go. So UAB probably would not want to, in their mind, take a step down to Sun Belt, but they would definitely fit in. And it would provide another program that's somewhat similar to Georgia State and being as far as a peer university. I'd feel better about being in the conference if we had to be in the conference. I'm gonna say conference a lot of times, but
yeah,
I think
if we have to add teams, if we have to add 2 teams, I want to add UAB and Southern Miss.
That seems to be the general consensus online from fans those are the 2 teams they want to add, and I think it does make sense from a Sun Belt perspective to add those 2 teams. You add the missing state of Mississippi, which doesn't really matter honestly, but it does makes the map look better.
That's been the consensus first choice for Sun Belt fans since we were getting courted for Sun Belt. I mean, when we were on the Sun Belt board checking that out, when we were hearing rumors about that kind of stuff, it was Southern Miss was like who everybody wanted. So,
yeah, and I guess they have that name, but obviously they have a bad history and haven't been doing fantastic lately. But whatever.
They have it in them to do pretty well, though. They've done well in the recent past.
Yeah. So I think it'd be cool to have Marshall and Southern Miss. I would probably prefer UAB and Southern Miss, or UAB and Marshall. I don't care as long as UAB was in the mix. I'd be happy about it. But we can hang out with them in the American Conference. That's fine too.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I'm good there.
There was one other dude that came on one of the message boards, and he spoke because I love reading message boards, especially like the Sun Belt message board, because people come on and they act like they know everything that's going on, and so they say things not like, this would be cool if, but I've heard from a reliable source that this is happening, and it's like it's factual. And this is the one that I thought was really interesting. Is they said that they heard what was going to happen is Georgia State and App to the American,
okay,
and the trash down south and the beach chickens to the MAC.
I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it, but when I heard the first part, when I read the first part of that statement, I'm like, all right, I guess if we have to pull along App State with us to the American, that's fine. But there's no way that Southern's going to the MAC. The travel would be ridiculous for them. That I don't think gives them any benefit whatsoever at all.
That's dumb. Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, but they might not understand that travel part. So yeah,
we can get on a bus and go anywhere. Yeah.
Well, they gotta. I mean, they're no matter what, they're traveling pretty far. You know, I mean, they got to go from the middle of nowhere.
They have to travel to travel.
Right.
That's the problem. That's the problem. So, yeah. I got a couple other.
No more realignment. There's no more other rumors floating out there.
Well, there's a lot of rumors. There's rumors that Old Dominion's president is pushing to create an Eastern Conference somehow, some way that would.
Is Old Dominion still a thing?
Yeah,
they didn't.
Conference USA.
They had a very long off season by not playing football during the COVID pandemic shit.
Oh boy!
So I guess their president spent his Saturdays figuring out a way to get a bunch of East Coast teams together, including App and East Carolina and Charlotte and whoever else is over there.
I don't think they want us, right?
No, because we'll be in the American, so we don't care exactly.
True.
I think that's everything.
By the way,
What, us going to American?
No, I mean this Eastern Conference nonsense.
It may it could happen like after all the things fall. I don't know. I think it's gonna be weird. I think that obviously Big 12 is gonna have to react somehow, and that's either a couple of teams going to the Pac, a couple of teams going to the Big 10, or them, trying to replace Texas and Oklahoma somehow with American teams or whatever. I don't know. I think you're going to have to see what happens with Big 12, then what happens to American, and then you'll find out what happens to the Sun Belt. And
yeah,
I mean, I guess Mac could probably lose Buffalo or something. Maybe that would be the one, but I don't know. I don't know enough about other regional college teams to talk about it at all. So
yeah.
I think it'd be fun. I don't think we'll hear anything during the before the season starts or during the season. It'll be something that comes into our next year's off season. But, yeah. The only other thing I got is NFL started. We have some Panther pros going on. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which way you want to look at it. Will Lutz got injured, and obviously, I never root for injury, even on the Saints team. But sucks to be Will. Going to miss half the season for surgery, but no hate against him. Hopefully he gets cut and gets picked up by the Falcons. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I want to happen.
He competes for the kicker spot and beats out.
Yeah, I don't. Do we even have a kicker anymore? I'm not sure exactly what's happening with the Falcons in that regard. But other than that, there's some guys to watch. You got Brandon White out in L.A. You've got Penny Hart in Seattle, and then Shannon Sullivan in Green Bay. Shannon Sullivan, shout out. He liked one of my State of Atlanta tweets, so I guess we're best friends now.
Such a good dude.
Yeah. He does seem like a super good dude.
Do you remember when he stopped by our spring practice tailgate?
No.
Yeah, no.
Did you remember anything at a tailgate? Whoa.
It was pretty early on, and I had followed his recruitment and talked to him a couple times during that, and then he came and found our tent and was just like, I just wanted to come say hi and meet everybody in person and all that, and he was like a freshman.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. I definitely would not remember.
It was out at the soccer field.
I thought you meant this past season, season spring game, and I'm like, I kind of feel like I remember an NFL player walking up to me and saying, "Hey, thank you for following stuff." But yeah, now at the soccer fields, I would not have paid attention to who a recruit was, a freshman. I would have no idea.
Yeah.
So I feel better about myself a little bit now.
Yeah, no, it was. I thought it stuck out to me. It's like this guy is just a good dude. So
yeah, No, everything I've seen from him since when he played and then going off to the NFL, he does seem like a super great guy. So wish the best of luck to him, and I hope that the Green Bay loses a close NFC Championship game here in Atlanta, and he has continued success.
And yeah, that is not his fault.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it won't be. It'll never be Shannon's fault. So
everyone blames
Albert Wilson down in Miami is getting a lot of hot praise right now, looking like after he sat out last season that they're expecting great things from him, which at this point has got to be the greatest Panther, in Georgia State history, or at least from the first ever team.
He's been so hot and cold in the NFL just because he's gotten plagued by the injury bug. So hopefully sitting out for a whole season is what he needed to just kind of refresh his body, because he's awesome.
The injury bug, and then it's getting stuck on a Kansas Chiefs team that had an anemic offense. And Albert Wilson was so underutilized with Alex Smith as quarterback.
Alex Smith was thrown to him, yeah. And then he had what was the guy in front of him too? That speedster guy, crazy fast guy.
Yeah, crazy fast guy.
It was like the Albert Wilson, but like one step below. No, I wouldn't say what I was going to say.
One step behind.
Let's stick with crazy fast guy.
The same mold. Less injury bug.
Less injury bug, yeah. So best of luck to all those guys, unless they're playing the Falcons, because I was a fan of you while you were a Panther, but when you're playing the Falcons, your career as a Georgia State Panther is over. Go make lots of money and send a lot of checks back to build our baseball arena and everything else.
They could just fix all that by being a Falcon. They just went to the Falcons, then we could just root for them.
I would have like jerseys of every single Georgia State player who played for the Falcons.
You just root for them,
or the Braves or the Hawks. Those would be absolutely So.
I thought there was talk last year like the Falcons were looking at a player from Georgia State.
We've had several.
I feel like Bill maybe he was on the practice squad for a little bit.
We've had several guys that have gotten undrafted pickups, but have never made an active roster, or never even made an active. The Donald was the pre-2016. The Donald was
he's our Donald. All right,
our Donald. He went out there and he didn't make it out of training camp, I don't believe.
Yeah.
But again, another example.
Like it was Billy Keaty or somebody like that who then went up to Canada.
Billy Keaty was our first drafted player. Didn't he go to the Raiders? Is that where he went?
Oh yeah, that's right. Who was I thinking of? Who went to Canada?
Yeah,
I forget.
John
Drew Little.
No, John said he played in a preseason game at Donald Russell.
Yeah, I think that's true.
He's talking about. So yeah, I'm just waiting for as soon as someone makes the active squad, I'm buying. I'll buy the $379 jersey. I'll buy the expensive one.
Yeah,
and I'll do whatever I can to get that thing signed, because that's what I want. I want a professional Atlanta team from Georgia State, or player from Georgia State. That's what I want.
You guys remember Donald Russell just like mowing people down? God.
Yeah, he would do it like once or twice a game because we'd never hand off the ball.
Because
he'd be like, "All right, it's my turn finally."
But it was amazing to see. I mean, he was so good.
He is one of the that is we use the term GSUing it on the internet all the time, and I feel like Donald Russell is an example of completely underutilizing someone's talents.
Yeah,
he was absolutely a powerhouse out there, and could have done so, especially back then. I mean, that was so early on. We were playing crap teams that we were losing to, and if you just would have fed him the ball all day long, we could have
hurt the other. He would have hurt all the starters on the other team just mowing over him.
The quarterback could have put a tailgate chair back there and been like, I'm going to hand the ball to you and sit down while the play develops. We're good to go.
You hurt them all in the first quarter, and then just bench Donald the rest of the game. You're good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The good old days, right?
The good old days of Georgia State.
Everyone on that team had magnanimity or something. So, there's that. They were magnanimous. Minimus.
Now you're using words I don't know.
What? You don't remember that?
No, I know the words. I just don't know what it means.
Yeah.
I I'm trying to skip ahead so you can't see both my AirPods at the same time. All right, there you go. Hey, I think it's all the notes I really have. Oop, crap, and I lost the AirPod. I think that's all the notes.
It just like squirted out.
Pop right now. I have very hairy ears, so. That's all I got tonight, guys. I mean,
I think it's enough. We went 45 minutes. That's what people seem happy with, so I think we're good.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So thanks, Ray, for listening. We do have a bus headed to Auburn.
What?
For that game. Yes, there will be booze.
Okay.
Dry County Brewery and Max Wine and Beer are providing booze on the bus. I have purchased 60 barf bags just in case you have too much, but please don't use them. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna drop off. I think I got it confirmed this weekend that we'll be picking up in front of Center Park Stadium. That will be our pickup and drop off spot, and heading down to Jordan Hare whenever we find out the kickoff time for that game. Do a little pregame tailgate, whatever you want to do, and head into the game. Come on back. It's going to be a lot of fun. There and back one day. Check it out. Where is it? Auburn. SaveAtlanta.com. Yeah, go check it out for a ticket.
I'll probably tailgate with whatever the Georgia State people do. They'll drop us off. I'll probably find that tent and hang out with the Georgia State people.
I'm going to go into it saying that's my plan, but I know me, and I'm probably going to get really social and just start wandering golf, talking to people, and hoping that I make it to my seat before kickoff.
That's fair.
But fortunately, since I'm the one organizing this whole thing, I know for a fact that bus will not leave until I'm on it.
That's right.
But I have that luxury. So check that out. I come out with this. It'll be a lot of fun. Also, if you want to come on the bus, think about considering joining our Patreon. Our Patreon pay $3 a month. You'll get $10 off of your trip to Auburn with us, as well as access to our private group chat, discounts on our merchandise, all that jazz.
Is there merchandise? Is there like shirts and stuff you can wear for State of Atlanta, David?
They're all right. Merch.stateofatlanta.com. Promo code. Wow. Apparently, I meant to say this. Soccer. Soccer starts this week, so soccer is our promo code for free shipping this week. Check that out. And we're going to head over to Last Call. You also get access to Last Call early. It's free for everybody on Saturday, available to everyone as soon as I get around posting it when I wake up with my hangover on Wednesday morning. So, other than that, heading over to Last Call now to talk a little bit more about this episode, a little more candidly, drink some more beer, and do whatever we want to do. There may be something talking about Marvel or smoked meats. That tends to be a recurring topic.
Yeah, well, there's nothing Marvel right now, but there is smoked meats.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for listening. Appreciate it. Looking forward to another awesome season of Georgia State sports with soccer starting here now. So say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.